armed robber from notorious Chaouk family who shot an innocent truck driver, 62, and left him a paraplegic as his excessive jail sentence slashed by 6 years. A Sydney armed robber, who shot an innocent bystander rendering him a paraplegic, has had his crushing and manifestly excessive sentence slashed by the NSW Court of Criminal Appeal. Graeme Hunt, then 62, had come out of his Merrylands house after hearing arguing and apparent gunshots in March 2014 and asked Ali Chaouk if everything was alright. Chaouk, then 23, said, "What's it got to do with you, UFG dog?" and immediately fired the gun at close range to Mr. Hunt's chest. In the district court in September 2016 he was jailed for 27 years, with a non-parole period of 20 years, after pleading guilty to 4 offences committed on March 26 in 2014 when committing a robbery with 2 other men. But on Monday, Justices Robert McFarlane, Elizabeth Fullerton and Dave Fagan concluded his sentence was crushing and manifestly excessive, reducing it to 20 years, with a non-parole period of 14 years. "I accept, without reservation, that for the applicant to have deliberately discharged the pistol at close range at Mr. Hunt's chest in the circumstances that are reflected in the agreed facts is an extremely grave example of an offense of its type," Justice Fullerton said. However, the sentence relating to Mr. Hunt's shooting was excessive before account was taken of Chaouk's guilty plea, youth, remorse and steps taken towards rehabilitation, the appeal court found. It said the starting point was excessive and strongly suggestive of the trial judge having given preponderant weight to the permanence of Mr. Hunt's catastrophic injuries in a way which failed to take into account all relevant factors. Chaouk also had pleaded guilty to robbery while armed with a dangerous weapon, assault with intent to rob while armed with a dangerous weapon, and to a similar charge involving the infliction of grievous bodily harm. This related to his firing 3 shots at 18-year-old Brian Olnand, hitting him in the right arm, chest and abdomen. Chaouk and his associates had conspired to rob Mr. Nand and 2 other teenagers who thought they were buying a mobile phone. Chaouk got in the teens' car and held a gun to the heads of Mr. Nand's passengers before taking cash from one of them. Mr. Hunt, a truckie who was 3 years from retirement, was hospitalized for 16 months and now uses a wheelchair. The bullet which had lodged in Mr. Hunt's spine was not able to be surgically removed due to the risk of further spinal injury or death.